やってみよう勝ちましょう夢を諦めないでよ星を伸ばす空に飛ぶ届きましょう少なかった僕の犠牲と汗がここき出させて人々疑って侮辱してけども決して不安の感情障害と痛み僕が動かせないけど夢と野心届くため振動で動かして風が強く吹いてる暖かさを与えている輝く星届くまで全力で飛ぶこの希望に満ちた夢に戦うのやめませんこの導く光を元気づける
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ath Geeks podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and today we have a special episode. I'm sorry for getting y'all's Weeb Wednesday episode on a Saturday. That is super late. But originally, as y'all knew, this episode was supposed to be the Spells Haikyuu episode. However, he has not fully caught up. He's watched most of the season 1, but he hasn't finished it. So he asked if we could delay it. You can stay up to date with all this information on our Twitter page at @ath_geeks. You can keep all this information there. That's where we have everything. But yeah, so we posted there on Wednesday that we weren't going to have that episode, but because of that episode getting pushed back, it also pushed back our draft day episode. So our draft day episode will probably come. We're probably going to push that back to next Friday and just have this Weeb episode this Saturday. But enough about that. This episode is a special episode because we are going to be talking about the Dragon Ball Super movie. So Thursday, your boy saw it first thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, I went at 5 o'clock, the earliest showing possible, 5 o'clock Friday. A lot of people I was talking to, I knew that I was going to see the movie. They're like, nah, we'll probably catch it Friday. We'll catch it Saturday. We'll catch it whenever. So I wanted to record this episode originally Thursday, but I was like, no, I don't want to drop it Thursday after I get back. I wanted to record it then, but I was like, a lot of people haven't watched it probably. So then I thought about Friday, and I'm like, no, a lot of people are gonna probably watch it Friday. So let's just record it Saturday. Since we're already late, let's just record it Saturday. And then on Saturday, that would have given plenty of people, because by the time this episode is gonna drop, plenty of people should have watched the episode by now. So watch the movie by now. Let me just say the movie was fire. It was fire. And Gohan is certified. I'm glad they finally given my boy Gohan and giving Piccolo their flowers. I think I will. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie yet, be prepared for spoilers. If you haven't read the manga yet, please be prepared for spoilers. This is your final warning. Your one and only warning. So, hey, listener discretion advised. So, in the movie, at first, I was confused. I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I first came out of the movie, I was like, "Dang, this is fire!" But is this canon? I know they said, Horiyama said it's gonna be canon from now. The super movies are canon because we all know the Dragon Ball Z movies are not canon, but the super movies are supposed to be canon. So usually, you saw how it proceeded with the whole the very beginning when they first came in, when they met Beerus, they just put that all in the anime. They just put it like that, but they just put a Cliff Notes version of the movie, but they put more detail into the anime. Same thing about Frieza, and same thing. They haven't done it yet with Broly, but you would assume they're gonna do the same thing with Broly, and now in this movie too. Because if you look there, the anime movies have never done this before. They've never correlated hand in hand like that. They've never done that. So you see this one, you see it's correlated. Like, so as you know, the last Broly movie where they saw Broly, Vegeta and Goku fought Broly and everything. And now you have this to where they haven't fought Broly, but I mean they did fight Broly in the latest movie, in this movie. They've already fought Broly. They're training on the Beerus' planet with Whis. So you have Broly, you have Goku and Vegeta all training over there. So you're like, hold up, this movie has nothing to do with the Broly movie. And spoiler alert already, again, you're not going to see Broly fight or anything like that in this movie. So you see that already, you're like, oh, so this has nothing to do with the Broly movie, but it's still correlating because they're still going based off that last movie. So I was like, oh, that's real cool. So how do they correlate this into the manga in the anime? Because if you've read the manga and you're caught up, I know it's supposed to be further into the future. I'd assume this whole Broly and everything stuff is supposed to be further into the future because in this latest movie, Pan is 3 years old. Or no, yeah, she's 3 years old and she's in daycare, I believe. Which makes Bra 2 years old. Because Pan is a year older than Bra in the official thing like that. I think Pan was born in like 789 and Bra was like born in 790, or is it 779 and Bra born in 780? It was like one born, it was like that close in the official thing. I can't remember the exact dates that they of their birthdays, but they're a year apart. Pan's a year older. So in this movie, Pan's 3 and everything. So I'm like, I'm trying to think how far in the future, because I don't remember if in the Broly movie they showed her. But in the anime, I know Brawl was recently born, or no, she was still pregnant during the Tournament of Power, which means we still got like we got 2 years. We got 2 years of time. So the anime and manga, the anime is 2 years away from this Broly timeline right now. And if you've read the last chapter of the manga, you see what I'm talking about. They kept implying that the strongest in the universe will wake soon. The strongest in the universe will wake soon. The Oracle fish kept saying that. And they're like, oh, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And then in the manga right now, you had he's from the planet Cereal, but I forgot how to pronounce what being he. But you had a person wish they were the strongest in the universe. They used the Dragon Balls to wish they were the strongest in the universe. But the dragon said for a wish like that, you have to make a sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice your life force to make that wish, because that's not within his power just to make you the strongest. So you have to sacrifice your life force. So he was like, you're only gonna live for 3 years. This isn't the movie. This is in the manga right now. Past is Moro, so I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about Moro. So this is after they've defeated Moro. You have this being here. Um, the person is like he was killed. Well, his mom was killed, and it's just him and then a Namekian, and they were friends. The Namekian raised him because his planet was basically taken over, destroyed. His race was wiped out, and his planet was basically almost destroyed by Frieza and Frieza's men, which was the Saiyans at the time. So they used that was back. So that shows you it was like 40 years in the past. So the Saiyans used that. Frieza used the Saiyans to destroy his planet, so he has vengeance against the Saiyans and Frieza. So you have that. He's grown up now, and he's like, I want my revenge on them. I need to get revenge. And then he's like, you know what? F it. He makes that wish on the Dragon Balls. He's like, I want to be the strongest. I'll sacrifice. I only live for 3 more years. I'm ready to die just to save them. He want just for vengeance, just for vengeance. He wants vengeance, so he's like, I'm gonna. My life is for vengeance. They killed my mother. They killed my entire race. I'm gonna go and destroy them. So you have the people that took over his planet, the ones that bought it after Frieza destroyed it. He bought it. They bought it, and they're like, oh, they know that this dude wants vengeance on Frieza. So they're like, how do we, and they're business partners with Frieza. So they're like, how do we stop this guy from doing this now that he's strong because he made that wish and then he pulled up on them and they saw how strong he was. They were like, oh, well, we got to do something about this. How about we have them take care of each other, have Frieza and the dude take care of each other, or we could have the Saiyans wear him down so that then Frieza can destroy him because they'd rather keep business partners with Frieza for the moment. So they're like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pair them against the Saiyans. So on a trip, as strongest, and they're just like, wait, we'll find them for you. And then they find Goku and everybody. Well, they go after Chi Chi and Bulma, and they're like, hey, we need your husband's help. We have these people trying to attack us, blah blah blah, and they play like the victim. So, Goku and Vegeta never gonna turn down a fight. They're like, oh, you the world's strongest that we keep hearing about? This is the world's strongest person we keep hearing about that the Oracle fish keeps talking about. They assume that this was a person. They're like, oh, bet. And the whole time reading the manga, you think this is the person the Oracle fish is talking about. So Goku and Vegeta like, bet, pull up. Nobody calling themselves the strongest. That's us. What you talking about? So they pull up on them. They get whooped. They get washed because homie's strong. Homie is super powerful. And they're like, because he sacrificed all his life for us. Imagine Gon. That's basically what he did. He pulled a Gon and just sacrificed the rest of his life just to become strong. He's like, yeah, pull out everything, all my untapped potential, make it everything, and just make me strong. And the dude's like, they're like, oh, so they fighting them. They fighting. They're like, hold up, but why are we fighting each other? We're not even like, they talk no jutsu out of Naruto them, and after they've gotten whooped long enough, and then they realize that they're not really enemies. They realize that they're not really enemies, and they're like, oh wait, we're not enemies. And then we learn about Bardock because apparently the saying that saved them to the Mechian and the kid, they were like, hey, it was Bardock. And so we have a whole arc where he's like the Namekian tells them about Bardock, tells Goku like he looks like the dude that saved them. And Vegeta's like, Bardock was your dad. They had that whole thing. Goku has a flashback to where he was in the little chamber when he was a baby, and he remembers Bardock, and he's remembered Bardock telling him to stay alive and stay alive, stay alive. And Goku has this whole touching moment where he remembers Bardock and remembers his dad, and then he's like, I finally understand saying pride. The dude's like, oh, y'all are actually my saviors. What have I done? Blah blah blah. So these people are really the enemies, the ones that pit us against each other. And then they use that same thing where they call their Dragon Balls up again. The people that work with Frieza that pitted them up against each other, they make the wish to make one of their guys the strongest now in the world, in the universe. So because they made them the strongest in the universe, now it's even crazy because they're like, okay, now this dude's even stronger. So it's like, okay, bet. And they both try to fight. Now all three of them are fighting this other dude who, and he's just, his name's Gas, and Gas is washing them. Gas is washing. They keep fighting. They keep fighting. They keep trying to figure it out. And then at the end, though, Gas had to sacrifice more of his time. He didn't even get like a year. That man was dying that day. He was dying that day. So his body's starting to wither away while they're fighting. And they're all fighting. And then Frieza pulls up, and Frieza's like, oh, so you were trying to kill me. What'd you summon me for? And they were like, oh, so you summoned me here so you could kill me. But it looks like this dude is already almost dead. So he finishes Gas off, and then he punches Goku and Vegeta, and he's like, I would kill y'all now, but because they're weak right now. He's like, I would kill y'all right now, but that's not why I pulled up today. Pulled up to take care of them, and now I'm leaving. And then they were like, hold up, how is he so strong? And then Frieza was like, I was going around different planets, and one of the planets I found has this thing called a time chamber that lets you go into another dimension and train as much as you want. So I got about 10 years of training in, and I've only been going like a year or whatever. And they're like, oh, what? You have a time chamber now too? And so Frieza's gotten like super strong now. And then Frieza pulls out his new form. As y'all already know, everybody's probably seen on Black Frieza. He already had Gold Frieza. Now he got Black Frieza, and Black Frieza is like super powerful. And he's like, yeah, flexes that Black Frieza, moves on and everything. And then they're like, oh, that's crazy. And then Whis pulls up. Whis comes over there. He's like, all right, Goku, Vegeta, Let's go. We going back. You already handled y'all's business. Let's go back to training. And then Goku and Vegeta are like, okay, well, we already finished. They're like, okay, so is that who the Oracle Fish was talking about? Him being the strongest, or were they talking about Frieza? And it turns out the Oracle Fish wasn't talking about Frieza or him. They just left it up in the air who the Oracle Fish was talking about. I know I rambled right there, but I was trying to catch y'all up, give y'all like a quick version of everything that's happened in the manga between the anime, what we lost all in the Tournament of Power, and where we are now in the manga. That was the latest chapter in the manga that they're like, they're like the strongest being in the universe is about to pop up. So it's not Frieza. It's not any of these other people they fought in between the anime and now. And then it's like, and the movies are canon. The movies are canon. Where y'all think this is gonna go? Broly. And it's about dang time my boy Broly gets his respect. Broly is one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball Z. Not the old Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Super, I should say. Dragon Ball Z Broly, I didn't really like this that much. This Dragon Ball Super Broly, I'm all in on him. I'm all in. I'm a big fan of Broly, and I'm glad Broly's finally getting him some respect. They train him, teaching him how to fight, everything like that. I'm glad my boy Broly finally getting his respect. And then so it makes sense. Everybody's got a new form. Everybody's about to get a new form. So you have a new android now. So they have the whole android gang. So you think about back at the people on Earth. Let's take away Goku and Vegeta. Actually, let's start with Goku and Vegeta because there's listen. So you have Goku has Ultra Instinct, and then Goku has his new Ultra Instinct where he doesn't even have to go into Ultra Instinct mode. He's in a constant state of Ultra Instinct, kind of where he's in his base form and he's using Ultra Instinct. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you have that Goku. You have Vegeta learning from Beerus, from the God of Destruction, and he's learned destruction power. So he goes into God of Destruction mode, where he's not as strong as Beerus, obviously, but it's a similar mode where he goes into that God of Destruction mode, where he brings everything he does brings destruction. Think of Toppo in what's called the Tournament of Power. You know, the other like Jiren second man, that's the mode he goes to. He goes to that like super strong Toppo mode where Toppo was using the God of Destruction power. That's what Vegeta has now, which is crazy. So you have Vegeta with his new mode, Goku with his new mode. You have Broly there who's just washing them base. Broly's just like, hey, I don't need all these forms. Put your hands up, bink, bink, bink. And Broly's him. And so you have all three of them there. Then you go back to Earth. And I first I wasn't rocking with it, but the more and more I thought about it, I love it. Because if you think about how they're doing it, Goku is they're making Vegeta's getting primed to be ready to be a god of destruction. Goku's not built to be a god of destruction. Goku and Vegeta probably gonna survive together. Who knows? They might make Goku one of the Supreme Kais, or I don't know where they're gonna take him. Goku has to figure out something because Vegeta's probably gonna end up being the god of destruction once Beerus is done. Because Beerus is already training him now. Because Beerus at first didn't want to train him, but Beerus is training him now. Broly is still there. Like I said, Broly's strong. So you're gonna see less and less of them three because they're trying to put them three in their own little area. And in the movie you saw they're trying to put those three over there and use them as a last resort. Last resort. If they absolutely the villain is just too strong, then you got the big three pull up like what's up? Like what's up? But before we get to the big three, we got all the Z fighters. The Z fighters, the gang is getting back together, dude. We're getting the gang back together. Like straight up, the Z fighters getting rebuilt, and that's what's up. You got the Z fighters because they're trying to rebuild now. Instead of like Goku and them being the heads, you got Gohan and Piccolo being on top of the Z fighters. Gohan pulling up with his new form, bro. When I tell you, I was so obnoxious in that movie theater. I was so obnoxious, bro, because when Gohan pulls up and Gohan was like getting mad because they, you know, the whole Cell Max thing. I know I'm not really talking about the movie. What I'm really talking about is how they correlate the movie, the anime, and the manga now. So that whole Cell Max thing, they did a whole thing just to replay on Cell. Cool. The android dies, everything like that. You have the whole Gohan snaps, and when Gohan snapped, I went crazy in that movie theater. I was like, they did the whole thing. I was like, oh. no, he's about to snap. I was telling my homie, I was there with me. I said, if he snaps, I'm going crazy. If he snaps, I'm going crazy. If he snaps, I'm going crazy. And then Piccolo's body falls in the air, falls down, and then you just see the little lightning bolt, and then Gohan's like Teen Gohan. Boy, I was like, oh, I was going crazy in that movie theater, and it helped that there was only like 7 of us in there. I went to the early show, and apparently all the 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, all the other shows after that were like lit and they were packed. But I went early, so like 7 of us in there. I was like, oh, that's crazy, bro. No, I was like, no, no, no. And then you see Gohan's hair, he turns like all black, his eyes turn red. I was like, nah, this man's different. Nah, this man's certified. He's different. He's him. He's him. And then Gohan's like, mink, 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 just super overpowered. I'm like, all right, all right. And I like it because he said he was gonna do a form without Super Saiyan. And this ain't Super Saiyan because his hair's still black. It's just long, it's like a Super Saiyan 3 where his hair gets longer, but his hair's still black and his eyes just turn red like he's a demon. He's on demon time. That man Gohan's different. And then so you have that. Gohan like mink, 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 starts whooping him, and then he does his final move. And bro, I almost shed a tear. I did shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I shed a tear. I was in there crying. I ain't got no. I know. I'm man enough to say it. I was in there crying. This man Gohan was like, special beam cannon. I was like, no, no, no. He pulled out Piccolo's move, and he just showed homage to Piccolo. And then that special beam cannon was super OC. And if you saw the form and everything and how he just watched it, bro, I was in the movie theater crying. I was like, it's so beautiful, man. It was just so beautiful. That was crazy. Like it was crazy. So you have Gohan with his new form. You have Piccolo with his new form. He's going super Namekian, super. He says he calls it orange Piccolo, but it's super Namekian where he gets bigger. He turns orange. He gets super strong. Like he's about to start washing people. Piccolo gets a new form. That's crazy. You still got 17 and 18 there. You got 17 and 18 there as the androids. Now you have number 1 there too as an android. And I like number 1. I think I personally like number 2 better than number 1, but I think number 1 fits more in a Z fighter setting and them doing everything like that than number 2 does. I feel like number 1 fits more there. You still have Tinchinhan, you have Yamcha, you have Krillin, you still have all them together on there. You have all of them. You still have Boo when he's not asleep. Boo was asleep the whole time during this too, basically. Just like how he was asleep basically all of the manga, except for that one time he fought Moro. He fought Moro one time, and they were like, "Oh, we need Boo to fight him," and then he went to sleep, and he was asleep for the rest of the manga, and you haven't seen him since. Um, and Boo is supposed to be different too. And Boo, so you still have Boo on that level with Goku in them. So you have the Z fighters, you have the people at Boo. And I'm like, bro, how anybody just gonna rock with y'all? Like, how many more villains can y'all bring? I want to know how they have to. I know where they can go because right now they've used all their villains. They eat the timeline up. I think we're about to start going in the Broly arc of the manga. And if we do that, that's gonna be crazy. But after the Broly arc, they do all their training. I think the only way we keep doing this is do another universe like tournament of power. There's nobody else that can mess with them. You have Goku who's gonna be in a constant state of ultra instinct within the next few years. Vegeta's probably gonna have mastered that God Destruction power. I already told you about Broly. I already told you about the other Z fighters. Like, who is rocking with them in this universe? It just wouldn't, to me, it wouldn't make sense. But I guess since it could make sense because you have Frieza, have Black Frieza now, and he's like super strong. And if he builds up his forces, maybe they have a battle with Frieza again. That's the only thing I can think of. Man, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super is about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy. Just know Super's about to get super crazy. Y'all need to pay attention to it if you're not paying attention to it. This thing is nuts. It's crazy. Just if you're not reading any manga and you like Dragon Ball Z, it is worth reading this manga to catch up so you can catch up on everything. Watch the Broly movie and watch this latest movie if you haven't watched it already. I'm sorry again for getting this episode to y'all late, but hey, It's worth it. It's worth it. We're gonna start a Discord here soon, so y'all can join it. And we can all have talks and everything. We're still working on that, but you can still hit us up on socials. You can hit us up at athgeekspodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up anywhere like that, anywhere you want to. Make sure you give us like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, do all that nice stuff. But anyways, this has been another episode of the Ath Geeks Podcast. Always, always, always remember to respect women, but most importantly, remember to respect yourself. Cause simping ain't pimping, and Goku is him, but Gohan is really him, and we out.
やってみよう勝ちましょう夢